Hello students, hope you all are safe at home and you are happy with your family. So do stay at home and do be safe. So today what we are going to do is we are going to do the revision of the first chapter in human resource management, and that is the nature and the scope. So very quickly we will recap all whatever we have gone through. Almost all the syllabus are been completed till now. So let's begin with the revision of the first chapter. So before I come with the nature and the scope of human resource management, I would like to recollect what the human resource management actually means. So human resource management is what it is, a managing of human as a resource. So over here, the humans are considered as one of the resource for the management, for the organization, and how well it is been utilized as it is a resource. So getting the best out of the human, using the resource efficiently and effectively is all about human resource management. Now we will come out with the nature of human resource management. What were the natures of the human resource management? The first and more important part was it is a pervasive in nature. Pervasive means that it prevails in all kind of organization and at all the levels of organization. Means like human beings are not only in first or in the first level of hierarchy or the second level or the third level, it is in the entire levels of hierarchy. So as the humans are involved in each and everywhere in the organization, so it's very obvious regarding the management of human resource will be prevailing in all the levels and in all kind of organization. Second, we come with the focus on resolutions of problems. When we are dealing with the human beings, when we are dealing with their emotions, feelings, so there will be a questions of problems, there will be a solutions. So when you are having a proper human resource management system, when you are coordinating, when you are communicating with them very well, when you have a proper planning regarding that, then the problems will be easily solved out. Then we are coming, the third is right job for the right people. Students, it is a very important thing to remember. Human resource management deals with the four things and four right things. What? Right person, right place, right job at the right time. So recruiting a right person at a right job, at the right place and a right time is really very much required. So being the HRA of a company, the HRA has the HRA manager's liabilities to check whether the right person has been appointed at the right place and at the right job. Then it comes continuous function. HRM process is a continuous function. It does not stop. It does not take a pause. It is required continuously. It is a dynamic in nature. It is a continuous process. Then alteration for individual growth. As HRM deals with what? It deals with the human beings, that is the employees of the organization. So both in a collective and individual term, it focuses on the growth of an individual along with the collective. As a teamwork or as an individual, there is a growth or not by providing a proper training when it is required for the employee. So basically it focuses on the growth of an individual. Then we come up with the multidisciplinary approach. HRM is required in all the aspects, in all the departments, in all the levels. So it is a multidisciplinary. It's not that only the lower level will be requiring the human resource management or the only HR is required for those. No, it's not like that. It is required for all the levels, for all the departments. Then comes development approach. Developmental approach is this. It basically focuses on what? It focuses on development on the individual as well as in the collective term. Then coordinating focus. Coordinating and communication. These two things are very important and it is required in each and every part of managing. So basically when you are coming up with the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, each and every step of it requires a coordination, requires a proper communication. Then unifies all kind of personnel. Now over here it is defining, it is coming up with each and every individual leads, their motivation level, their satisfaction level of an individual employee. So it focuses not only the enhancement of the organization, but rather it focuses on what? It focuses on individual needs also. Then the last is forward looking. Now, human resource management is always a forward looking. Why? Because when we are planning what should be done next, what need to be done to improve or to enhance this, it is always a forward looking. So this is the nature what we have done. Now we will move on to the scope of HRM. Scope of HRM is what? The first it deals with the manpower planning. As I have told you, it discusses a right person is to be appointed at the right place, right job. So this is basically a planning regarding what? Manpower. Then the second which we are coming is job analysis. Job analysis regarding the job. What kind of a job position it is and what kind of an employee do I require, for a candidate I require for that particular job is the job analysis. Recruitment and selection. So that after you have given the advertisement for accountant, for example accounting, you need a person who should be at least a graduate, or you need a person having a specialized, that is a master degree, and with that this is the working hours that person is required to. So this is a job analysis. After this you are getting the applications, you are inviting the applications and you got the candidates from there. So when the recruitment and selection procedure follows. Once you have selected, the candidate is selected, then the induction procedure comes up. And after getting the induction procedure, what happened? When the employee, after getting the induction, is seen whether the person requires a training and development or not. If it is required, they are being given a proper training so that their skill can be enhanced and they can do that specific job in an efficient manner. Then we come up with what? We come up with the performance appraisal. Performance appraisal comes up with what? The evaluation, so that the employee should be promoted or not, should be transferred, should be further given the training, and this all various kind of questions are being answered through performance appraisal. Then we come with the job evaluation. Job evaluation is all about the job valuation of a job, the job which you are being offering to a candidate, to a particular employee. What is the valuation? How much salary or remuneration should be given to that particular employee? That depends upon the position of a job. That is the job evaluation. Then we come up with the compensation. As I said, after evaluating the position of a job, we are coming with the remuneration, the compensation, and then we decide that this particular accountant position, the post for accountant is basically 20k to 30k we considered. So this job actually should be remunerated, should be compensated with 20 to 30k. This is the job evaluation, and accordingly we are providing the remuneration or compensation, providing proper motivation, welfare. And the very important part is not only remuneration or compensation actually works. Many a times there are many other factors which motivates the employees, like the canteen system, the canteen facilities, the washroom, the kind of where the employees take a rest. So all these factors plays a very important part. So this is also a part of human resource management. Then comes maintenance of industrial relationship. Now how you are having a relation with your managers, with your industrial employees, or your this partners, your peer groups, this all are actually required to have a healthy relation. So these are the parts of the scope. Now we will move on to the importance of HRM. Now importance of HRM, as it has been discussed over here, is according or the viewpoint of a nation, then according to the organization, from the society, and from the production. So according or in the viewpoint of organization, if we come up, it is regarding how you are performing, whether you are efficient or not, whether the training has been required or not. So what are the strategies, what are the policies to be given to the employees or to be followed by the employees to enhance your skill, and the proper work can be done, so that the employees are also motivated and they are also liking the job. Then we are coming with the society. It is seen that in a society, the job should be in such a way that does not create any kind of a pressure. You are happy to work. The society is also getting very, it should be a kind of way you are creating a kind of impression where your job has whether employees are really happy with your job profile. And so basically it is a limit where we show the job satisfaction and overall happiness that you are been getting from your so-called organization. Then we come with the profession. Over here, a proper development procedures. There are many techniques to enhance the skill. There is a training given to the employees so that their skill can be enhanced. Such systems are called for the professions. And individual aspect is your particular the individual as an employee, as a suppose if I am an employee as an individual, how I am enhancing, how the organization giving me a chance to enhance my knowledge in this sector. So here we come up with the importance. We are done with the importance. And last but not the least is the function of HRM. This HRM basically is what? In a managerial function, operative function and advisory function. Now the role of management, the role of HRM in the managerial function is taking the proper decisions regarding planning, organizing, staffing, directing. So how does this HRM plays a role in all these different parts, in all these different sectors are actually required. Then we are coming up what? We are coming with operating functions. The operating function deals with the job procurement, job analysis, job evaluation, the manpower planning. Whether do I require the employee right now for the stitching profession, or if I have an excess employees right now or excess teachers in this particular subject, I will be asking them to take another subject. So this kind of decisions taking, like whether I need to get it more, whether I need to recruit more staffs, or do I need to transfer them to another department, to another branch, to another subject. So this kind of we call a manpower planning. Then we come recruitment, that whether it is required or not, as I have told you, selection procedures, and then come the induction. This all comes under the operating function. Then we come with the development. Development in the sense of the organization, that is a overall development, and development of the individual aspect, that is the employees development. Then comes the compensation. Then the compensation acts as a motivation. So once you are getting the compensation as per your desirable or as per your expected, whatever you have expected, so that acts as somewhere or the other as a motivation. Many a times it happens if you have worked for suppose more than the hours required, you have been working for more than the hours required, so the organization thought to reward you. So this kind of reward, this kind of motivating incentives act as a very important part in it. Then we come with the advisory. Over here in advisory, this is dealt by the topmost level of the hierarchy, that is the top executive, and they take the particular decisions regarding what will be done with the humans, with the employees who are as a resource. So whether they should be given a bonus, whether they don't need to be given a bonus, what to be done, what not to be done, this kind of advices which are been given by the top executives are come under the advisory function. So thank you students, we have quickly done the revision of the first chapter. In the next video, next class, I will be coming up with the second chapter. So meanwhile, get ready and hope you people understood somewhat. Thank you, stay safe, stay home.